Salesforce implementers, if it's your first time or your 100th time, perfecting the first few steps of standing up a field service environment is something that we have to do for almost every single project. And sometimes you might have to set up a new sandbox. So, perfecting those first few steps, I'm going to show you how you can set up field service in an hour. So, here we go. Challenge accepted. Let's start with the trail supercharge field service and go to create a field service trailhead playground. And I've launched this many times. I'm going to launch my new community, new environment. Okay. So this was just spun up and I reset my access and everything. We found a bug in the last couple of weeks, or today I found a bug, and in the next 2 weeks, we're going to get this all fixed. So all of these steps that I'm about to show you are all going to be resolved with a single button. So if I just try this again, there was an issue with entitlements and person accounts is the story. So we're getting this fixed in a patch and it's going to be done in a couple of weeks. Awesome. In the meantime, let's just go through our handy dandy implementation checklist. So our implementation checklist is comprised of a number of steps that we perform on a regular basis for every single field service project. Everything in green are the things that are as part of Go, and what's in orange are next potential items that could be good candidates for Go. And this red item here, we don't need to do this anymore, so pretty good. The goal is to set up and get scheduling ASAP. This is a perfect way to get people, your customers, into the environment brand new, all ready to go. Because when you get your hands on a field service environment for the very first time, maybe you're coming from other field service management systems, either by choice and you're excited, or with a lot of resistance. You are not looking forward to this implementation. So, the best way to flatten that learning curve and increase confidence is to get their hands on the keyboard and thumbs on your mobile app ASAP. So as soon as possible, no other acronym is required here. We got to get up and running, and we can do it, as I'm going to promise you, in 60 minutes. So here we go. Using Go, even those first few sections, it will enable field service and install the package, all of these packages. Where it got hung up was in the permissions. So unfortunately, I got through. Okay, so we have success. Thank you to the product team for telling me that the issue was with entitlements. So I turned off entitlements in this org and I was able to rip through this. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how much I was gearing up for some insane long click through. However, what we are going to do though is we are going to double check its work. Trust but verify has been the theme for 2025. So now that we're in H2, we are moving forward with more confidence and we're trusting our instinct because we are verifying. So here we go. Let's step through some of these objects or some of these settings. So let's launch another setup window and we'll run through this checklist. Let's rearrange some of these things. While we're double checking this, multitask and download the field service mobile app on your device. We are using an iOS device. Unfortunately, the Android device is a little bit behind than Apple. So we do using the Apple devices. Yeah, fortunately or unfortunately. Okay. So in field service, we have settings in the setup menu. Let's review them together. One of the things that it turned on for us was enabling notifications. I don't turn any of these things on. I don't turn any of this on. I turn this on. Let's see if it'll do it. We'll just run through it first. So I do turn this on. This is normally turned on, and this is also normally turned on for you. So Document Builder is also turned on. And yeah, I don't use any of this. Oh, and then we will want to turn this on. So we will see if that's turned on as part of. I don't know why this is duplicated in this checklist. We'll have to run through that in a second. But yeah, let's just double check where we're at with this go. Okay. Okay. So it's installed the mobile. Okay. And it's okay. Now let's take a look at some of the other settings that we have here. I would normally, if we're turning on Document Builder, we would need to turn this on. So I'm going to go through some other checks and then we're going to circle back to this and see how if this got configured. If it didn't, we're turning it on and we're updating that in our checklist. Okay. Okay. Document Builder, because it was turned on and I see it already, we will have to create some templates. Going a little out of sequence here, but I did see it. So let's just create one for work service appointment. Wonder if I'll be able to do this if I don't have the perms assigned. But we're going to find out. Let the system tell us what it's going to do. Oh, it worked. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to just hit save. Yeah, we can put photos on here. Let's make this active. Assign it, save. And then we'll do one for the work order too. You can have multiple templates for work order, service appointment, and work order line item, I think, but you for sure need one for a service appointment. It's required. And this can also be a default. So when we say default, we're just saying it's the default service document template for this object. So if you happen to have multiple templates for a single object, that's all that this means. This doesn't mean that between the service appointment and the work order, which one's going to be the one that you're going to use. It's not that, unfortunately. So we'll just save this and we will go back. So now from here, what are we getting? Let's look at the objects. So let's look at work order to start. So work order is, we should have a cloned page layout and it looks like we do. Okay. This is something that was new from the last time. We have a field service dispatcher work order layout and a field service technician work order layout. The reason why we have both is because the technician layout should be a lot cleaner than the dispatcher. It's just too much information. We don't need to distract them. So let's think about that. Let's look at the page layout assignments, because what we're going to notice is that these page layout assignments have been assigned to the two new profiles that was created for us. They are cloned from the standard user. We've got a field service dispatcher and a field service technician. This is wonderful. We even have a system administrator work order page layout. So now that we're going to update some pages, we're going to have to update all three if we need to. Okay. So this is great. The amount of cleanup that you have to do for every single page layout is not ideal. Plus, the package layout does not come over in a sandbox to a production environment with a change set. So you're going to have to be mindful. Do not invest your time or energy in that work order layout. Or if you do it, and then once you have it perfect, then clone it. Okay. But this is not migratable, so to speak. Okay. Now, those objects have been cleaned up. What else do I do? Mobile notification, document builder. Okay, I think this is already green. I'm going to just make this green. This is default by design. Okay, feed tracking for service appointment. Let's go to feed tracking. This ensures that you get notifications on the service appointment and also the chatter feed, right? So this has to be turned on. You don't need to have any of the fields tracked. That's fine. Just start with this. Work order is done for you automatically. Okay. All right. What else do I have next? Did I miss anything? Let's check out all of the installed packages. So I have the connected app. Awesome. I've got field service, the summer release. I've got, what's this? Oh, I've got two connected apps. The field service connected app. Okay, great. That's fine. It does not install the dashboard. So I'm going to just say this, and then this is not green. I'm going to reset this because this is really dashboards, appointment assistant, and starter kit. Where's starter kit? We're not going to do that because I've been having problems installing. Not exactly sure what that's about. Okay. All right. So now the other thing that I do is I do a mobile publisher layout. No, publisher layouts. I clone this, or I don't, I just create a new one. Yeah, I don't, that's interesting. Why would I clone an existing one? Mobile, save. Hopefully, no, I still have to do this. This like dragging and dropping things. The other thing we have to think about is the default record actions for the mobile pages for service appointment and a work order. Those also likely will need to be cleaned up because here we go, here we go. There's too many actions for a technician on the mobile app. So leave them for now, just so that your customers can see them for the first time. I'm going to leave this here because I don't think I need to clean that up, but I've been wrong before. And I'm going to go to my user and I'm going to look at my permission set groups because it created a permission set group for you. The cool thing is let's see which permissions it put. Okay, it did not include the document builder one. So I am going to do document builder mobile add. So hit done. I'm not sure why it didn't, but that's okay for now. And because I know that, still going. Although, do I really need to do this? I don't know, but we're going to go through here in a second. Okay. So in field service settings, remember I said we would go back here. We're going to add this. Okay. Oh, of course we need this somehow. All right. So now that we have that, did I share? Share. I want to do this too. And then hit save. Okay. All right. So that's the basic setup stuff. Let's go back to the permission set group. And I want to, don't know. I don't think I need this, but we're going to do it anyway. And then I'm going to do the same thing for dispatcher. So for document builder, we are going to need to update these perms to make sure that they have it. I don't know if I needed it for dispatcher, but that's okay. Because really all I need is just this field service. Okay. Document builder for this dispatcher, done. Okay, great. So now that we have this is awesome, I am going to back to my permission set group, manage assignments, give this to me. And I also want the admin one. Okay. And then I'll just open this up. Permission set groups. Oh, I've got admin already. So that's really nice. Let's go to my go to tech go to. standard user. Now let's edit this because I don't want to use the standard user. I want to use the field service technician, and let's hit save. So this is wonderful. Let's go to the permission set group assignments and let's do this, save. And then what I'm curious about is what happens next. Okay, so this should be the baseline. Let's verify something. I think I have to do some field service admin stuff. So let's just verify what the settings are in field service admin. Because maybe some things were already set up for me here, but let's just verify. The first thing that I'm looking for in field service settings is the permission sets. It's a possibility that we might have to update some, but this is where we need to verify, right? So integration, almost always, this one needs to be updated pretty frequently. And then the field service AI agent, I'll create it, but I don't know if I have any users to associate it with, right? I don't think I have that enabled in this org. Status transitions, we have this. Okay, one more thing I like to create. Anything here? Scheduling, routing. Okay, we do have to register here. So turn this on. Okay. Okay, so what is this? Remote site before. Whoops. Okay, we're supposed to go to remote sites. Okay, so we will, when you're ready to optimize, you will have to enable the O2 optimize, but we're not there yet. You told me what now? FSLGIS. This is not active. So we have to open it, edit, activate, or I could have just pressed edit, I'm sure. Okay. So now that's done. Let's see what happens. Let's refresh and see if that reset. Hopefully we did okay. And then I didn't mess it up. So let's go to scheduling, go back to routing, and we're okay. Register. Okay, so it reset it. Whoops, you have to do that first. Registered. Sweet. Okay, so now we've got street level routing and point to point predictive routing. Life is good. Now, let's review a couple of other things, right? So, speed tracking, publisher layout done. I don't know if I need to do this yet. Okay. There was one thing that I did recently as well. I added to this list. It would all be under the app tabs. So I'm going to just do this first. On the service resource, let's go to object settings. Oh, Leanne. So the service resource, if we want to be able to track their live location, their actual route, we have to turn on field history tracking for their last known location and date. So we have to flip this on and hit save. And that's how we track their real time history. So I did that. And then, okay, service report templates. Right? So we're just going to use document templates for now. I am not going to configure anything on the page layout because what I want to do is I really want to show the users what out of the box looks like. Okay, so then the other thing that I have to do next is I have to go to, unfortunately, Classic. And I got to go to service appointment list views. and create a mobile list view. So I'm now transitioning to get the mobile user ready. So in order to get the mobile user ready, we start off with the default list view for the mobile settings. So we're going to go to service appointments and we're going to go to my service appointments and we're going to edit this. Classic is the only one that has assigned to me. And if we want to show the calendar, then we on the app, then we need to have scheduled start not equal to blank. And I'm not really a fan of the arrival window or the parent type here. So what I do is maybe work type. Okay, I like work type. And what we've done also in the past was concatenate certain fields. So if you need to see more or less, those are some of the things that we've had. Ooh, you know what else we've done? Emojis. Those work really well because you could change the emoji based off of the status, right? If you want your technicians or mobile workers to call, the customer before, the status could have a telephone, meaning it's time to call. And then when they're en route, there's a little truck that's scurrying away and things like that. Emergency could have the alarm bell. So caution could be what's a really irate customer, giving them a heads up that we've got somebody who's really upset with us. So those kind of emojis could really go a long way. So I'm going to save this. Now, be mindful when you think about all of your service appointment list views that the mobile users will see them and you might not want them to see it. So here's where is a good opportunity to think about groups and sharing your list views. Okay. I gotta go back to groups. So what we need to do is we need to copy the developer name of that list view. So I forgot to copy it. So get the developer name, cancel, back to set. And I'm going to go to the mobile settings. Okay. You can create multiple mobile settings and assign it to different profiles. For again, this scenario, we don't need to do that. If you want to make a nice impression, you could change some of the branding colors to make it branded to your customer's experience. But that's it for now. I'm going to turn on a few things here that I don't normally turn on, and it's only because I don't have some of the flows that I normally have right now. Let me just actually validate that. I'm looking for the status transition flow. I would really love that to be a standard list. I don't have it. And that's part of the starter kit. And what I don't like about the starter kit is that it is process builder based as opposed to flow based. So, anyway, I don't love that. So, in order to get this party started, we need to enable full edit on records, which is you never want to do this in a production environment ever. This is only for training purposes only. And to show how valuable an action is, a record action is. Okay. So we're going to turn on timesheets. I'm going to collect time zone and I'm going to show the resources. I'm going to collect the geolocation history. So again, we can see the history. And I think that's it. We are not going to do any of this stuff. Again, I don't have on-site status is in progress, completed status is complete. We don't really need this, but I'm usually, yeah, and the quick status change, if I had a flow, I would put it here. I don't have that right now. Okay. So a really quick record action that we could show for status change is just service appointment. The reason why I don't love sticking with these resource appointments is because, oh, I do have a change status. No, this is a lie. This isn't supported on mobile. So a new action, update record. If we had a flow, I would put a flow, but update status. And all I'm going to surface here is the status. Yes. And you know what? We might as well edit layout, actual start. actual end service note. Something like this might be worthwhile. Oops. It's not wonderful, but it's something. Okay. And then now let's go to the page layout. And this is for the technician. And we will add, oops, update status. We've got create service report, and I have create service document. So we're okay there. The related list, do I have it on the related list? I don't. So we need to add the service report to the related list. I didn't realize we have to do that. Okay. All right. So I'm going to add that to the dispatcher as well, because they're going to need to see the service reports. That's not ideal. Save. And I'm going to add to system administrator, also not ideal, but again, it is what it is. So service reports. Okay, great. Okay. So now that we have that, we could also put it on the work order, but we're going to just leave it on the service appointment for now. Okay. So we need to, okay, so let's pull that. Okay, where should this go? There's some things here that are, these are the app tabs we're going through, but this is all, right? This is part of the service report to the page layout. Okay, so this should probably come up a little bit higher. I'm going to make this because I created this earlier, didn't I? So we're going to go through the platform settings. Perfect. The other thing that we did was we updated all of the groups. Maybe this should go up here. Okay. All right. I think those are all the things that I did. So status quo, right? Not recommended, but you do it. We ticked all of these. I set the default, enabled multiple timesheet. I set the default view. This is a duplicate. Delete this row. Yes, I did this. Okay, I don't have that, but I did do a insert row above. This is more for demo purposes. And part of the reason why we want to replace with flow to capture. Okay. Now, okay, now that's done. We have to set up our mobile user. I think we're ready to go. User I don't think I verified their user yet. No, let's verify. I don't think I set up this user yet. So let me just run through it. Verify your email. Ooh, did I set this up? No. Okay, let's reset the password. Okay, reset password. Okay. Hmm. Oh, interesting. I cannot verify my email. It's taking me to enter in my password, but I don't know what that is. And I can't even log in as this user. Is that weird? Ah, no, it's not weird. Yikes. Yikes. Weird. Yikes. It's not even a Lightning user. Okay, phew. All right, here we go. We are in business, I think. So now how do I get out? Log out? I don't know the best way. Okay, here we go. Now, if this is the case, before I get started, I'm going to just try to log in myself first. Okay, I think you do need to see this. I'm already logged in as another user, so you may not see this, but as an implementer, you should know. And as a project team member, you do need to know how to toggle between user accounts. So I am going to create a new user and I'm going to log in as TechGo2. And I'm going to copy this whole thing because sometimes it might not work the first time. In this case, luck was on our side. Something went wrong. Okay, I know what happened. I forgot to do all the records. So funny. All the reference records. Okay, so now let's go back to single and let's create some records. So I can't believe I forgot that. You need a service resource, you need territories, you need territory members, operating hours, fundamental things, and I wanted to schedule an appointment. So kind of a bit delayed. Okay, so let's keep going. 1 out of 5 complete. Hello. All right. So creating work types. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, okay, see, no service resources created, create work types. Let's manage this. So we could watch a cute thing, or we could just create our work types. Work types are the services you provide. Typically for field service, we see repairs, diagnostics, troubleshooting, sales, installs. Did I say installs? Maintenance. So again, for the sake of argument, you would have a discovery session with your customer and you would probably pick 3 or 4 different work types just to set it up so that it's relatively succinct to and aligned with their business. But I'm just going to go with typical install, and we're going to say that it's 8 hours. Let's make it 7, and we'll auto create. I'm not going to add any skills yet. Okay. So I'm going to hit save. And then we'll do a new work type and we'll do maintenance. Estimated hour is 2 hours. Save. New work type. We're going to do repair. And we're going to call it 4 hours. And we're going to say save. Okay. Now, let's save and close. So, do we have any work types? Should be yes. Now, a new territory. A territory represents the coverage area that where you service your customers. At a very bare minimum, make sure you've got a territory for every time zone you operate in. Because when your customer in that time zone phones you and says, I need an appointment at 6 p.m., make it for 6 p.m. in that time zone that they belong to. Otherwise, you're going to be having to do some crazy mathematics. So we do not want that to happen. So I am going to just choose one territory and I'm going to make it the West Coast. So I'm just going to call it West Coast for now. And I'm going to just do 250 Mission Street. I don't know what the zip code is. Okay, so let's define some new hours. And this is going to be, again, remember I said you have to make it in the context of Central Mountain Pacific, LA. Okay. Okay. And we can make it 9 to 5. I think that's okay. I will save this. Oops, this is not. Okay. So we've got this and we can save and close. We'll just have the one territory for now. But ideally, you would want to set this up again, one per time zone, and then we're not really talking about close. Perfect. Okay. And then add your service resources. So I'll add a new service resource with an existing user. Okay, I've already assigned it. So let's just see tech go. Let's just see if it'll do it for me. What I'm hoping for is that it'll check to see if the perms are there. If they're there, fine, just create the service resource. If they're not there, then add the perms. The old way would just block you and say there aren't any more licenses available. Okay, so we are good. How do I know that we are good? We will be able to go into field service and I would be able to go to field service settings, not the field service tab, and I will see that I've got West Coast here and I've got one technician there with weird. Because the start of the territory membership was just right now. So now notice it's in the context of my time zone. So it's 12 o'clock for me, but local time it's not because my user is East Coast. This is good. Okay. This is a good thing, right? It's a good thing. We can change that setting, but don't worry about that for now. There's lots that we can do. So let's create a work order. One thing that might be missing from the account page layout is the actions. So I don't see any book appointment actions. So we may have to go to edit the object and we'll add the page layout. Ooh, yeah. I don't know which one it is. Oh, the account one. Fine. Okay, let's go here. And then let's go to book appointment. Candidates. Oh, you want to go at the bottom there? Fine. Emergency. Okay. So save. Now, once you set this up, have a play. If you're not tinkering and playing with the environment, the whole point is you want to set it up so that they can fill things out and tick box and create records and bump into walls and say, that's weird and I'm lost here, or this was cool. So this is what we want to do. And honestly, how many minutes are we in? Let's double check the recording. 42 minutes in, and I am able to book an appointment. I should not. I should bite my tongue. We haven't actually booked it yet. So let's just do that. We'll talk about derivations. Again, out of the box, okay? Customer's going to say, wait, why is the address empty? We'll talk about derivations, right? So sometimes you want to show the holes, always show the holes, because this is where you say, okay, that's great. Here's the setting, and you introduce them to, right? And the great thing about that is they start to poke holes in it. They get their comfort level increased and their confidence level increased. So, yes, it's these weird little things, but just have them navigate, right? So, anyway, enough of that. We'll just book this appointment and move to my app. I don't believe this appointment would have been shared with me. One thing that we also forgot about was, oh, am I in the right app? No, because I forgot to log in. Okay. So let's log in. If that happens once in a while, I wonder if it's still in my, you see why I copy paste? Okay, so the sync is in progress. I'm going to just let that run for a minute. The one thing that we should consider, oh, apply now. The one thing that we should consider is the user territories. I don't think I said anything there. So we might want to do that here. Oh, I do have that somewhere. Look at that. Okay, so hold on. This is not green. This is not green. That was a good catch. I'm glad we looked at that. Okay, user territories. In the field service admin, we have to create a user territory. This sets up the sharing rules. So all you're really doing is just connecting the technician to the territory and even the dispatcher, right? If again, it's a private model, so we need to see everything. So it's very important to ensure that when you are talking to your customer and when you are setting up your automations and things like that, do not ever change the owner of your service appointments and work orders, because the sharing rules are so important. It's shared with two groups, right? It's shared with the West Coast group and with the owner, right? So now that I've got this, let's quit the app. All right, okay, tech go. Okay, nothing is scheduled. And but it looks like I will have something tomorrow, and it's because it hasn't been shared with me yet. So if I just refresh, I might have to clear my metadata Oh no, I just had to pull down. I just had to pull down. Now I have access to it. So I've got access to the service appointment and I should have access to the work order. I do. So I'm looking at the work order. Now you could show them, and again, no contact, no asset, populate the contact on the work order, contact, put the asset on the work order, and now you've got contacts there. So show them all the value of putting in all that data, create a service document. Does it work? No. Okay. Let's just look at all of this. So I don't have for some reason, that service appointment status transition did not show. I'm not entirely sure why. I might have to clear the metadata. But what we do have, edit service appointment, we can change the status, right? So it can be changed to dispatched, save. Let's just double check something. Let me clear the metadata settings. So always teach this to your project team. You can, something about this might be important too in the mobile settings, especially when you're in build mode. Okay, let's look at that. There's a clear cached metadata setting. And while I'm in build mode, I change it from, I think it's 7 days, yes, to 1 day. Every day I want to be able to check. And I'm glad that the pickless time interval is 15 minutes. We used to always have to change it to 15 minutes because, yeah, anyway, it's not great. Okay, so let's just quit the app and make sure that it's working. All right. Could have sworn I would have had that edit. That is interesting. Service appointment, strange status. Okay, that isn't available. That's fine. Okay, it is what it is. We'll just change the status to be in progress. And here's where you would just show them how you would navigate through the app. So the one of my favorite things about the program is that you can change the status on your device and you've got it right here. I do want to call out there's no travel whiskers because I didn't have an address on the service appointment. So again, a discussion about calculating travel. Let's go back here again to the mobile app, edit appointment, and you can say completed, right? And now it'll change from purple to green in 3, 2, 1. Go. 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 I think it's about 10 seconds to refresh, although right now this feels like the longest 10 seconds I've ever had. Did I change the status? Yes. There it is. The moment that you second guess is when it shows. Okay. So now that's done. Let's see if I can create the service document yet. Perfect. Now I can. So you might have to just clear the metadata just to make sure that you're all clear. And then you could view, get your signature, and instead of signing it, you could just say use my name. Oh, how come I can't get a dot? Oh, there it is. Okay, save. The cannot collect signature is something that you could do too. And then they have to remember to press generate document. Sometimes they forget, but then the document gets generated. You get an alert when it's complete. And what's great about that is it happens asynchronously. And you have to be online, but you can still go about your business and do your job. But one of the things that you might want to show is things like posting something. You can take a video, you can take a photo. Oh, it says that I couldn't create and then post. So this is how you can take pictures out in the field. So you can show that. Again, it's out of the box. Now let's see, failed to generate. Why? Add signature. Let's try it again. Not entirely sure why it wouldn't generate, but again, this would be something that we would have to think about. What a shame. Related files. Yeah, so the photo's there, but the service document isn't. Yeah, I wonder if I failed to give a permission or something. Let's just double check. Yeah, I've got this. I've got that. Let's look at the user. And we're just about at the 60-minute mark, which shows us that I saved it. I was able to run it. So I'm not exactly sure what the problem might be. That's something that we can dig in. I didn't experience that in my other orgs, but we can dig in and see what that's about. This is a perfect thing to a time to create a ticket with Salesforce. But the idea is, yeah, you should be able to generate it. So let me just try one more time where I'm adding the signature and I'm saying fail to collect. I wonder if it's because I'm in do not disturb. That would be not correct. Yeah, couldn't create. I wonder why. Okay. For things like this is a perfect chance to log a case with Salesforce. But that's it. Again, these are the things that you would want to do to then start walking through with your customer what's next and go through the rest of the config, build a path, run through all the data points that needs to be collected at every status. We might need a new status like en route. We might need one for accept reject. So you would just start walking through that experience and then start slowly building it out. But the best thing is you can run scheduling from beginning to end out of the box within 60 minutes. So you set up Salesforce field service in 60 minutes using this checklist and running through a very quick scenario. And we're even under. So it's possible. It can be easy. Let's make it easy and let's make it fun and interactive. So go out there, have fun, spin up an org, and let me know what you're coming up with. It's time to tinker. So let's get to it.